My bad, y'all. My bad. Having some technical difficulties. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. Back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel, and also hit the notifications too, so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. We all know what the story was last night taking place. Um, for the most part, it was only two nail biters, and as far as all three of the games that went down last night, everybody was able to uh, pretty much be resilient. Now, since Worm want to come up in here, what's up with it, Worm? I see you in the building. We'll go ahead and tackle the Chicago game first. We'll get that out of the way because, uh, listen, this is the thing, man. It was more about Chicago's inability to play hard rather than all of the people collectively showing up in terms of the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay. Um, Billy Donovan is needs to be fired. Okay, he needs to be fired. It ain't no question about it. You shouldn't be getting blown out in a loss like that. You know the effort. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand in terms of what the Bulls did not do in terms of Levine and DeRozan, but we all know the story. Okay, we all know the story. I've told people time and time again, Warren. Listen, Zach Levine is playing 1 foot in and 1 foot out. DeMar DeRozan, he can't stay consistent in the playoffs. Okay. Now, like I said, it was a collective effort. Giannis had his 18 and 9, 9 assists rather, because he was getting his team involved. Bobby Portis, although he was still kind of limp, kind of hurt a little bit, still came out there, gave you 16 rebounds and 18 points. Drew Holiday came out there 16 points. Grayson Allen, who I really ain't a fan of, even though he went to Duke, he stepped up big time, 22. All right, and then Chicago, just a poor effort, and Vucevic, who I've been talking about the whole entire time. He may not be what you call the best defender, but he's putting in a lot of the solid effort, more so than DeRozan, who had 11, and Zach Levine, who had 15. Even Bradley off the bench had 10. Now, if we're talking about the numbers and what they didn't what Chicago didn't do, they got outshot. Milwaukee collectively they shot 36%. Chicago only shot 39% from the field in terms of field goal. Milwaukee 47, and y'all got dominated on the glass, and on top of that, y'all dominated. They dominated in the paint, and y'all had the bulk of the turnovers. So, what is that saying? It's saying minimal effort, you know. And this was a chance for DeMar DeRozan to really rise to the occasion. This was a chance for Zach Levine, who doesn't have any playoff experience, to rise to the occasion. You got to show up. It's no excuse. You got to produce. And, it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. Hey, Billy Donovan needs to be gone. Now, I know Giannis has been paying attention to our videos, paying attention to the brother Ticket, paying attention to the brother Tural, paying attention to everybody in the LDBC. Okay. Now, Giannis showed up, and it's like what you said, Warren. They got to do what you're telling the Bulls to do, which is to not take their foot off the gas, but just a blowout. And this series is over. I mean, pretty much the Bucks have taken their heart. Even without Middleton, they can still get it done. Now that's going to be a question going in. You said put Zach and Vice Vucevic. If we're being honest, all of them got to go. You listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, Juan. Yeah, why would you want to build around DeRozan? He's 33 years old. He don't have that much. He don't have that much upside in his prime. You're gonna have to get a young, emerging superstar. You know what I'm saying? And getting rid of Vucevic. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like Vucevic and what he brings to the table. Billy Donovan is not really using him right. Now he's not the greatest rim protector in the world. Matter of fact, he slipped off on defense in comparison to last year. But I'll take Vucevic and Philly. That's what Worm. That's what the plan was. They were trying to build around Levine, but now it's not. All them pieces that you got, Lonzo Ball, okay, Alex Caruso, Derrick Jones Jr., and Vucevic, who he started. They started the first do that, and then DeMar DeRozan, because at first they were going to try doing the Kobe White experiment. So they were trying to build around Levine, and the thing about it is Levine, he's playing for a contract. They'll throw him money away, but not that much. And Levine is hearing rumblings of them building around DeMar DeRozan, which I think is terrible, because you can get it done in the regular season. You setting all these records and stuff like that, and then when it comes to the playoffs, you ain't consistent. Because he did have a phenomenal first game, or second game rather. Listen, Zach LaVine, as much as I like Zach LaVine, I mean, his attitude right now is hurting the Bulls. And you can see it with his play. It's just kind of like with Donovan Mitchell. You see that, you could clearly see that those guys don't want to be there. LaVine is like, man, I'm over it. Man, you can't bring that type of attitude in the playoffs. Nah, he don't. He don't deserve no max. Neither does James Harden. I'm not giving him no bag. Now, I'll tell you who does deserve a bag. And I'm going to talk about this game right now. Is Ayton. So everybody has something to say about Ayton. Huh? Hey, came through in the nail biter. They were able to beat the New Orleans Pelicans, shorthanded without D Book. Okay? Look, like I told people, Monty will adjust. Monty is able to adjust. Hell yeah. 28 and 17 and a plus 18 on the floor to lead all of the everybody in the, as far as plus and minus. And of course, you can't forget about Chris Paul and the phenomenal job that he did down the stretch too. And also nobody giving credit to Mikal Bridges and JaVale McGee. Very, 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 very solid job off the bench. JaVale McGee, he got championship experience. New Orleans played good. I give New Orleans credit. And Willie Green, I mean, he was coaching his ass off against the likes of Monty Williams, because they know each other. He's familiar with everybody. And on top of that, to make matters worse, D'Antoni is an advisor for Willie Green, but that's a whole nother story. But they were able to step up in my the second game that we got to talk about. They were able to step up and rise to the occasion. Hell yeah, man. Javale McGee helps any roster out. All that Shaq and the fool stuff, one, that goes out the window. Listen, you can clown Javale McGee all you want to. And hey, Worm, I'm gonna rinse you up. I'm gonna rinse you up after this, homie. I gotta rinse you up, man. I haven't forgot about you, bro. I gotta rinse y'all. I gotta rinse a couple of people up. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been coming through showing love, man. But the thing about it, man, is JaVale McGee. He tremendously helps your roster out. Now, people forget that he's got multiple championships. When we talk about Golden State and helping out the Lakers. Okay? I mean, people forget about that. Listen, JaVale McGee could be used, and look, he's a blue-collar individual. And he's efficient in the time that he's allowed. He was a bulk. He was a bulk off of the scoring off of the bench for Phoenix. Now he only had 3 rebounds, and the story was dominating on the glass. And see, that's the thing. Monty Williams figured out that they, if they play big in the interior, and on top of that, the combination of Chris Paul and Mikal Bridges giving that firepower on the perimeter, they can't be touched because you got big athletic big men that can run out, that can run in transition, that can bang with you down low. I get sick of people saying that Ayton can't bang. I get sick of people saying that Ayton is not versatile. I get sick of people saying that Ayton is not able to be durable. I get sick of people saying that Ayton can't score. He even made a 3-pointer. That just goes to show you how, and he's been working on his lateral quickness. I mean, come on. He's already had a taste of the finals. So you can't sit there and say, oh, well, Ayton, he's not giving you buckets. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. That's because he knows, he understands his role. But when he's called upon, he could do it. He could get you 30-something points. He could do what Brandon Ingram's doing and play for contracts and all that other stuff. But what does he do? He's staying humble. So you're going to go out there, put up 40, taking away from your team, not winning and losing. And then on top of that, you don't have the best record, and you don't have the best road record, which people forget. Which shout out to Hitman X for putting people on that. Man, that's why he's my favorite. That's why Mikal Bridges. Yeah, and yeah, they are stacked. Yeah, that's why Mikal Bridges is my favorite player on the Phoenix. I tell Hitman all the time. I've been going since last year or the year before last about Mikal Bridges and Ayton. But Mikal Bridges is my favorite player, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I was a little disappointed. I was kind of torn about the defensive player of the year because Marcus Smart, he represents Texas, you know what I'm saying? Represent the area and everything. But Mikal Bridges deserves that defensive player of the year because he's just he's hard nosed. He can be flamboyant when he wants to. He's gonna give you scoring, and he's gonna do everything necessary for the betterment of the team. He can play out in the perimeter. He can shoot the ball. He's athletic. If you need a bucket in the transition, he's gonna get it. That's why a lot of people, at first I was comparing him to Robert Horry, but he's more like a more hybrid version of Michael Cooper, who should have been in the Hall of Fame and who got robbed, right? And now let's get to the final game. And I think Trae Young had been really listening to to Raw's video because he stepped it up. He really stepped it up last night. Trae Young, I'm proud of Trae Young. Even if they only get this game right here, the fact that they were able to beat Miami in a nail biter like that was phenomenal. He was sensational last night. Sensational. You know, and Trae Young, look, if you really want to be honest, the Hawks, even though they'll lose this series, they still got a bright future ahead of them. Now they're gonna probably have to figure out that situation between him and Collins, I think, because Nate McMillan isn't going anywhere. Nate McMillan isn't going anywhere. But they're gonna have to figure out that Collins didn't play that good. And I like John Collins, but it might be time for him to go. They've already gave him the bag. Bogdanovich always gonna do his thing out there. Hunter, but Trae Young was sensational. And Herder had 13. Wright had 13. And for the Heat, it was Bam that I really didn't think. I think he was the most important out of. That's just my opinion. With the board that he was, and Jimmy Butler. I'm gonna make another video about Jimmy Butler. He was 2010, damn near had a triple double, and the guy who ain't nobody talking about. All right. Of course, we know Tyler Hero gonna do what he do. Sixth man of the year candidate. You know what I'm saying? But the guy that nobody talking about out of nowhere, Struz, right? Had 20, had a dub. Nobody talking about this guy. You know, he shot 50% the previous game too. A lot of people don't understand that. He had 14 last game. He had 20 this game. Max Struz, man. Max Struz coming out of nowhere. And you gotta remember, he put up numbers this year. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no scrub. He's averaging in double figures this year, and he's shooting a little he's shooting about 44%. But I mean, in the minimal minutes that he's getting, because he's only getting about 23 minutes a game, Matt Struz is just instant offense. Yeah, and Capella. Yeah, they got to figure out what. Yeah, that's a good point, Worm. They got to figure out what they're gonna do about those guys, because they're gonna want to listen for Trae Young. If he keeps playing the way that he plays, I don't mind Trae Young pulling up from deep. You know what I'm saying? If that's his game, that's his game. But I love it when he goes to the rack. Everybody just thinks that Trae Young is, he's just pulling up from 50 and all this other stuff. No, Trae Young can get to the rack too when he wants to, but he got to play strong. He got to be solid. Listen, he got to have a toughness of a John Moran. He got to have a toughness of an Anthony Edwards. I'm talking about some of the young ones. He got to have that toughness. Yeah, Max Strus, man. Yeah, man. That guy now he with Miami and he out there flaming. Yeah, man. So now the big question now, though, Worm, because I think you're the only one in here. There's a couple of people listening or whatever. Now the big question now is, okay, what is KD gonna do later? Okay, we got that game coming up. What is KD gonna do? Is he gonna respond like a Giannis? Is he gonna respond like Trae Young? Is he gonna respond like a combination of CP3, Ayton, and that boy Mikal Bridges. Is he going to respond? Now, me myself personally, I think KD is going to respond, but I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. Okay, you know, we got to talk about Udoka and the tremendous job that he's doing neutralizing KD, taking him, yeah, taking him off of his game. I believe he will too, but it can't just be KD too. Listen, as much as we want to give KD the smoke and all this other stuff, look, it's got to be a collective effort. Kobe couldn't get it all done by himself. Yeah, he did a lot, you know what I'm saying, in terms of defensively and offensively too, like that. But they had to have guys like a Lamar Odom. They had to have guys like a Ron Artest. They had to have guys like a prime Trevor Ariza. They had to have guys like a Paul Gasol. They had to have guys off that bench, booty shake, all that other. Because I'm just giving an example, like the Lakers, you know what I'm saying, who everybody thought that Kobe was just surrounded by, mediocre talent and all this other stuff, you know what I'm saying, which, he had talent, maybe wasn't the talent that some of these other guys got, but nevertheless, it's got to be a collective effort, and the big question is about why LaMarcus Aldridge and guys like Blake Griffin are playing. Then also, people want to know, hey, is Ben Simmons going to be a help? Which I really don't think he is. What's up with it, JMJ? I see you in the building, man. Hope everything good. Look, that's the question. Now, Boston is 23-18 on the road. Okay, their road record isn't as good as Phoenix in comparison to Phoenix. They're 30. Well, now with that win last night, they're 33-9. But coming into the Pelicans building, they were 32-9. So they like Hitman X had pointed out, they have the best road record in the league or whatever. Boston's not too shabby on the road, but they've been known to give away games. But that's the thing. That can also be looked at too in terms of them being battled.